What is going on, Tratter Nation? My name is Nick Luciano. Today I will be with Blake and Roy to interview the 2022 PBR World Champion. We are in Sulphur Springs, Texas. At the home of this world champ, you may know him. His name is Daylon Swearingen. We're going to interview him and see what goes on inside the head of this world champion bull rider. So come along, let's get to know him.
So Daylon, you grew up in upstate New York. I think that's what we can call it.
Yeah.
You went from New York, family's in the rodeo business. Your dad's a stock contractor, competed. Your mom also a trick rider. Now you're the 2022 PBR World Champion. That's quite a journey, going from New York to where you are now.
Yeah, and I think it was a really cool journey. It doesn't really matter where you're from, or if you want something bad enough, you'll go do it. And you know, New York's a lot bigger than people, like, it's not just concrete and big buildings. Like, there's beautiful country there. You know, I don't think it's beautiful country in the wintertime, but I don't like the cold. But I love going up there in the summertime. It's a beautiful place, and I'm thankful for everything that it's helped me with.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, and when you won the 2022 World Championship, you thank God, which is, I love that.
Yeah.
So, obviously, you have a relationship with the Lord. How does that fit into your whole program?
Yeah. So, like, I was born in North Carolina and stuff, and we ended up moving back because some stuff happened with my family, and we lived with my grandparents. And earlier this year, my grandma passed away, you know, and you know, she was always there, always supporting me. Sometimes she even got on a bull once, so she thought she could do it, and she'd tell me, you know, what I needed to do sometimes, or she would never tell me, but she'd always tell my mom, and then my mom would tell me, and it would always just put a smile on my face. But it was really cool to, you know, my grandpa was there when I won, and just having that opportunity to do it with my family and, you know, everybody, you know, I'm so thankful for my family and everything that God has done for my family to take me where I am and my whole family.
Yeah, and I can say we were there. We stayed for the award ceremony and seeing your parents there, and then your grandpa, and like it brought tears to my eyes because it's pretty important.
Yeah.
So to go into another gear here, I think you're the first person since 97, 98, I think it was Corey Navarre who did it, who hit the college national finals, the PBR finals, and the NFR. How much of a toll did that take on you?
Yeah, it was, you know, it was a lot, and I was young and I was ready to go. You know, when I left New York, I came down here to go to college in Texas, and I didn't know that there was that many rodeos to go to. And, you know, I didn't really jump in with somebody that knew how to do it. It was me and J.C. Mortensen, and we both didn't have a clue what we were doing. We were just going to rodeos. And, you know, my coach, he helped me, Jeff Collins, he kind of helped me learn a little bit and to go to the college finals and stuff like that. And but it was definitely a lot on me.
Yeah, that's a big step. I mean, over 20 years. You're the first person in over 20 years to do that. That's saying something right there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because, you know, Corey, he congratulated me and he said something to me, so that was kind of cool that somebody's done it in the past and then acknowledging it, and I felt
absolutely.
like that was really cool.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. And my way, the PBR format for the finals, you were number one going into the short go.
Yeah.
Kaike had to ride his bull. Then that would put pressure on you to ride your bull. He bucked off. Do you let down your guard at all?
Yeah.
I know you want to ride.
Yeah.
But knowing that you're the world champ and you don't have to ride, I know you want to ride, but do you let down your guard at all?
You know, I was doing really good in I saw him buck off, and I was still, like they told me to wait. PBR is a lot of weight, and them guys behind me, they start like hugging me, and you don't register it because you're still in your mode. But then once the guys that are about to help you get on this bull, that they start getting hyped, then it's like it's kind of hard. It was hard for me to bring myself back down, which Cooper Davis told, because it happened to Cooper the same time, and he told Matt West, don't say anything, which you don't really hear. I didn't hear any of the announcers at the time, but I heard Mason Taylor and Cole Melanson and them guys right behind me, but I still had a job to do, but my 100% my focus wasn't all there.
Yeah, so do you think it would be a good idea that if it's a tight race like that, you go first and let Kaike sweat it out?
Yeah, I can see it both ways, because Kaike rides, then there's an even bigger pot, then it's really boiled down to that. I see it both ways, kind of. I'm glad it worked out how it did.
Me too, I was pulling for you. So, all right, good. So I got one more question for you. Bull riding, I know when I was growing up, it was like you had so many bull ridings to go to. You had so many rodeos to go to. And you have the PBR, which is the elite right now. But I think we don't fill the stands, whether it be a rodeo or just a local bull riding or the PBR. We don't fill them like we used to. Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, I just feel like we all gotta work together, not from me being on both aspects, from the PBR to the PRCA. I feel like the whole Western culture has to come together, not just, okay, PBR, we gotta do this, or, vice versa. And I feel like the PBR does incorporate them, but the PRCA, when I made the NFR, they didn't even talk about me making the PBR finals earlier, and they miss a lot of big stories and stuff like that. And I feel like collaboration, just talking in anything, you can go along. It can make a lot of changes.
Yeah, I agree. So, well, thanks, Daylon.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Appreciate you letting us come out. Beautiful place. Good deal.
All right, Daylon, so what has social media brought to you for your brand?
I think it's done a lot for me. It's a way to kind of get people to see you from different aspects. Most everybody just sees me at the bull riding, but they don't see everything I do here or what I enjoy doing and stuff like that. So it's kind of a different outlook on everything.
Do you think social media has helped grow a big fan base for you, at your rodeos or your rides and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely do it. And, it's kind of getting different people that probably maybe don't go to the bull ride, or they just scrolling and see a bull ride or something like that, and they're like, oh, wow, that looks cool or something. I feel like it's kind of the modern way to get to people.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. TikTok's it's a crazy place.
Yeah.
I ask this question a lot to a lot of other cowboys and stuff. What is your definition of a cowboy?
I think my definition of a cowboy is somebody that, they're going to be a man of their word, man or woman of their word, and they're just going to push through any situations, and they're going to make the best outcome of whatever they can. And rather it's riding a horse or doing whatever, I just feel like, everybody's got a little cowboy in them, and they just got to move forward with it.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. So when did you realize that you wanted to be a professional bull rider? What happened there?
So I've always wanted to be. It's something I rode my mom when she was, she'd buck around in the carpet, and I'd shove me and my brother, we would shove a pillow underneath her shirt, so it looked like we were riding a Brammer and stuff, But I started riding sheep, and actually when I started riding sheep, me and my brother, I think my mom took us to our first one. We always had to wear helmets. We had these little skateboard helmets, and I actually didn't even get on my first sheep. I chickened out. I got scared, And my brother got on, and after we got back to the car, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do it now, you know. But I was just so worked up at the moment, I didn't do it. And, you know, and I can still remember getting back to the car, like, as, like, a 3-year-old, you know. And from that point on, I've always, if I want to do something, I do it even if I'm scared of it. And, but really, when I went to the junior high finals, when I was in 6th grade, I didn't do very good. The Bulls were a lot better than me, and so that I went home that summer and really worked at it, and then went back the next year and won a round and kind of placed top 10. And but that's when I really pursued it and saw that there was a lot more out there that if I wanted to be the best, I really had to work at it.
Yeah. So with you going into like professional bull riding, so there's obviously had to have been some kind of law that you've or the best piece of advice that you've ever been given. What is that? Who might have given you some good advice for that?
I feel like a lot of people have given me like really good advice. You know, I look up to a lot of different people in bull riding, and then I look up to people just in their mindset. And so I can't really picture one thing, but it's probably just keep working at it. Even if it might not be going good, it's gonna turn around. And I know, like, when I was ever having a slump or something, a learning curve. That's what my coach wanted me to call it. It was a learning curve. There are no slumps, there's learning curves. And, you know, I'd turn on Conor McGregor's Netflix show, Notorious, and that would always put me in a better mentality to go take on the day tomorrow, you know? And so I think it's just, you got to have short-term memory and move forward and really just set goals and achieve them.
All right, so what is one piece of advice that you could give someone to go out and chase their dreams?
One piece of advice for me is probably just don't let the little things discourage you. So when I won the college finals, I actually wrecked my truck that week leaving Casper. And, you know, I thought it was the end of the world. I totaled my truck. Well, I didn't total it, but it was pretty bad. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was down. I was like, man, this is the end of it, you know? And I didn't want to go keep rodeoing. The guy was rodeoing, got hurt, so it was just going to be me for probably 2 or 3 weeks. And so I'm like, man, this is kind of a bummer, you know, my truck's wrecked. But anyways, I talked myself through it, and my parents, you know, we all talked, and it's just a little setback. Everything's just a little setback, and you just have to keep moving forward. Doesn't matter where it is, it's all going to play out, and God's got a bigger plan than what you got.
That's awesome. All right, Daylon, I know we talked about your mindset a little bit in the previous shots, but I kind of want to dig deeper a little bit in how your champion mindset kind of works. So if you had to describe your mindset, how would you describe it, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I've never really been asked that question, but I feel like a lot of my mindset came from, like, my wrestling background, and, like, you know, when you're going out there and you're going to give it everything you got, and, you know, I've never really been part of a team sport, really, besides now and bull riding, but besides wrestling a little bit, and it's kind of the same, but, like, I feel like it helped me a lot, like, become stronger, like the workouts it put me through, and, you know, and working out myself, that really keeps my mind in check for me. Like, for me, I know if I'm putting in the work, then, you know, God will have me go where I need to go if I'm working at it. If I'm not working at it, you know, I feel like physically I might be there, but mentally I'm not. So I just have to keep putting in the work and
yeah. I would say from watching you, definitely one of the more mentally tough competitors I've seen. You always kind of got that strong look to you, and I admire that a lot. So that kind of plays into my next question is, obviously in the sport of bull riding, any sport, you're a big athlete. When an obstacle comes up, how do you tackle that? Like, how do you maneuver around it? What is something you tell yourself to kind of get over those hurdles in life?
Yeah, so I think, you know, just having a small, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like and you don't think of it for too long. What am I trying to say here?
Short-term mindset?
Yeah, short-term mindset.
Short-term, yeah.
So like the first bull I got on at the finals, I ended up getting a re-ride. You know, then I was already one of the last guys out, and now I have to go right back on and get on another one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it didn't work out, bugged me down, and then, you know, that was just the start. So, you know, you always want your start to be better, you know, just as good as your finish. And so it was just a big deal where I had to overcome that and, you know, just move forward. Tomorrow's a new day. Anything can happen. And, you know, for me, it's like God's got a plan. It might not be my plan, but God's got a better plan for me in the long run.
Short-term memory is key. I love that. Next up, another big one too, because, you know, obviously with the sport you're in, you're challenged every single day, whether you're on a 2,000-pound bull or just getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, whenever challenges arise, how do you deal with that, from whether it's a bull or just something like throughout the day?
You know, I feel like there's a lot of, you know, everybody's in a hustle and a bustle, so there's a lot of times for us to get overwhelmed, whether it's driving, you know, could be on the way to the airport, you know. So how you handle those little things is going to shape you for how you handle the big things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think, you know, just handle everything as calm and as cool as you can and not get worked up or anything like that. And I feel really repetitive, but just saying that, no, God's got a plan at the end of the day, and it's all going to work out.
Yeah, for sure. I always, you know, being around, you know, the guys I'm around all the time, they always say, like, have a sound mind.
Yeah.
Right? God made us with a sound mind.
Yeah.
So the more you rely on that, you know, the more things are going to work out. And a big thing that I preach to a lot of people is this word called discipline. And obviously you have that. But what are some of the, like, do you have any rituals? Do you have any, like, we talk about the small things. Do you have any small things that, like, keep you disciplined, keep you on track, that you do in your everyday life?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, everything's kind of disciplined at the end of the day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, that's why I have what I have here, you know, like, I like to stay working and stay doing something throughout the week. It keeps my mind busy, keeps me busy, and that helps me to move forward. And I don't know about the little things, but I know, like, when I pack my gear bag, it's always the same. That's my job, is
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell you how everything's stacked in there right now, you know, like, so when it comes to that, when I go to the bull riding, everything becomes that. Yeah, she doesn't speak very good English. But
It's all good.
I guess we'll just wait till she stops and then we'll pick up that.
she's just gonna pull in there. She doesn't.
She can come in.
Yeah,
Bring
you're
her
good.
on- Bring her on up. All right. We'll just let her park.
We'll just do another take. I'll just run that question from
Okay.
the top.
Yeah. And we're still on. Just gonna keep going.
Hey, there could be some good, like, you could use some tire track audio. Who knows? I'll wait till the door closes. Yeah, and don't worry about sounding repetitive.
Okay.
We'll use whatever we need to. Alright, get out of your truck. Alright, you won't hear it. We'll just roll with it.
Yeah, we're good now. It was just her coming up the driveway.
Yeah. All right. All right, Daylon. So I'm very big on this word called discipline, and I kind of wanted to pick your brain on some of the things that you do to stay disciplined, whether it's little things, big things, kind of your routine throughout the day.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, everything that I have here, like, I try to stay busy throughout the whole day, and you know, when it comes to the events, like, I eat maybe a smoothie or an acai bowl or something small. Yeah. and then I don't eat the rest of the day, and that might be kind of like a little discipline, you know. I like to be hungry, and my bag's always the same, you know. I can tell you how everything's stacked in there, and just my routine once I get to the bull riding is all the same. Like, I just try to keep that all the same in my mentality, it kind of gets me ready for bull riding. And then here, you know, like I like to have routines and keep me in check and make sure I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Yeah, routines are very key. And me being like very much a fan of you and your mindset, I kind of want to get an inside look on what is your routine before you actually slide down in the chutes.
Yeah, so like, you know, I do the same thing every time, and you know, when we get there, you know, like I used to drink a full bottle before I get on. I'd have that full bottle of water, but I've gotten out of that. But when I'm up in there, you know, like I'll do like a little stretch getting in, but like that little stretch getting in the Bucking Chute, that's kind of me entering my other zone, like, because everything quiets out. You know, you hear you know, who's right there maybe helping you. You hear them guys talk a little bit, but other than that, you kind of just get in tune with yourself, and you really have to find that, you know, and then everything else just happens.
Yeah, that's what I hear, and I've talked to a lot of veterans here, and they say as you continue to ride, especially like Casey Field, and even talking with Roy some, as when that chute opens, do things go into slow-mo for you, or are they just boom, boom, boom?
Yeah, it just depends on the ride. Like most of the time, like I don't even know what's going, like don't really remember anything till you get off, you know? Because most of the time, like if I'm in my mind, if I'm thinking, then I'm probably going to be laying on the ground the next jump or two, you know? And so for me, like me moving my feet, me spurring, that makes it hard. So if it's easy, make it hard and spur. If it's hard, make it hard, make it easy and start spurring to move up. And it's like I always try to move, but that keeps my mind on the bull, not thinking. And so like that's really big for me.
Yeah, they always say in bull riding, don't think, just do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So moving into one of my last questions is, obviously everybody goes through trials and tribulations in life, and we always get this feeling of, you know, we're not good enough, or, you know, maybe I failed. And I'm sure there's times that you've gone through that in your life. And if you feel like you failed, or you feel like you need to pick yourself up, I love what you said earlier, that you don't have slumps. But when you have that sort of feeling, what do you tell yourself?
Yeah, you just have to know who you are. Like, you know, if I'm in a big learning curve, I'm going to watch some videos back when I used to do it. And, you know, you fake it till you make it. And, you know, your mind is way more powerful than any of us know. But, like, if you believe, like, if you get on that bull and you ride him just in a video, it's like doing it. And so just kind of get my mind, it's all about getting my mind back. My body's there, you know, and that's kind of how it was when I came back from my injuries, you know, like it was just, okay, now I got to do it.
Yeah. So obviously you're 2022 world champ. Is that something you just constantly envisioned in your head and it just came to life?
Yeah, I always wanted to be a world champ, you know. Every day before we'd go to school, my mom would put in, I don't know, like not a CD, but like in the...
Like a cassette?
Yeah, like a cassette, and it'd be of the old NFR playing and stuff like that, and that was really cool, like, you know, looking back at all of them, and then, but it's a goal that it's a dream, and then I made it a goal. And so it's always something I've wanted.
That's awesome. So we talk about goals, talk about dreams. What's next for Daylon Swearingen?
You know, for the rest of the year, I want to help the Carolina Cowboys win the first team world championships, and then reassess my goals for next year and move forward.
There you go. Awesome. All right, well, Daylon, thank you so much for having us out to your place. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you. I know the guys enjoyed talking to you. It's been a good experience getting ahead of the world champ, the 2022 world champ. Make sure to follow Daylon on all of his socials. What socials do you have?
Instagram, Daylon_Swearingen, and then You can follow the team that I'm on, the Carolina Cowboys, and
There you go. Yeah, make sure to keep up with the new PBR Team Series. Daylon has been very exciting to watch along with his teammates. And that being said, make sure to follow Tratter House on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere, Tratter. All the links will be in the description. Make sure to like, comment on this video, and make sure to go follow Daylon on all his socials as well. And we'll see y'all in the next one.